Got the whole world in your hands.
Hello, this is Bharat on a sort of wet monsoon day here in India. So I'm from Palmistry Talks, as you must know. And today we're going to continue our lesson or our talk about fingerprints. And before we talked about the simple fingerprints, the arch, the simple arch and the tented arch, and we got into a little bit the loops. And now we go into the composite fingerprint. Now the composite fingerprint, as you can see in the diagram, it looks like a yin yang sign. They even call it like an inverted loop. So you can see it's a coming together of like two loops, and they form this composite. So it looks like a yin-yang sign. And so what the composite means is the coming together of opposing forces, which means they exist together, even though they can be diametrically opposite, but they're existing together as one. Now, people who have a composite fingerprint, I see it quite, often enough. They're intelligent people. They're usually doing people. They're doing things in the world. They're upbeat. They're, as we talk later on about the world people, they're like worlds in a way. But it is opposing forces existing together. And normally you won't see a hand with a lot of composites on it. It's rare for me to see hands, even though I do once in a while. I do see a hand that has 3 or 4 or 5 composites in it. But normally, if it only is in the thumb, it gives it the full meaning. But normally I would see it in the thumb and the Jupiter finger. Usually you wouldn't see it any more than that. So when you see the composite fingerprint, the first key word or key phrase is opposing forces existing together. And secondly, you know that the person's intelligent. And also the person has a very good ability to compartmentalize. That is, put things into different compartments. Now, a person with a composite fingerprint, like they'll work in one place, play in another place, and do their yoga in another place, and that doesn't mix. They put the different things in compartments, and they can just get on with things, because let's say they have a fight with their husband or boyfriend, they can just put that fight into a box, zip it up, and then get on with work. So in a way, it's really a good asset, that ability to compartmentalize. Of course, they can't forget that they locked their husband up in that box. But I find it to be a very positive asset to have, is this ability to compartmentalize. Now, what they all have is opposing forces existing together. So, and also, they can have one characteristic that is beneficial to them, and also causing suffering to them, not being not beneficial as well. So that's also very often going on. For example, they can be a certain way with a certain group of people or with a person, and then completely diametrically opposite with another group of people, or being in a different type of role. But my great example is a girlfriend that I once had, and when she was my lover and girlfriend, she was the most sweetest woman you ever want to meet in your life, and she would give you everything. She was a Texan. She was from Texas, and but she was running a guest house, and she was managing this guest house. And when she was taking on the role of guest house manager, she became ruthless. Like, she would kill you for a dime. She would shoot you for a dime. She would have 6 guns and just shoot you, But then she'd walk into the bedroom. There she was, sweet old girlfriend again, being very loving. So it's like existing together what shouldn't be existing together, So that's very, very possible. And you see examples of that, like, all the time. And another thing that can happen is the person can receive great benefit from something, but at the same time, it's also causing him a lot of suffering. Once I gave a reading to this woman, American woman again, and she was a professor of Chinese in China, living in China, having a PhD, of course, and she was having lots of awards and acknowledgments and honors from being a professor of Chinese in China. And she had this, and it was beautiful. But she was the most neurotic person I've ever met. And, you know, I'm from the heart of neurotic people in New York City. And if I'm saying that, she was really neurotic. So on one hand, she was really suffering, and the other hand, she had great benefits. So this can also really happen with the composite fingers. But all in all, the people are intelligent, and they're out there. They're doers in the world. And so it's not bad to have the composite fingerprint, and it's good. It's good. So that's, and I guess I can think of something else to say about composite fingerprints, but I don't at the moment. And if I do, I'll do that I'll add it in on the next video. So the next video, we're going to talk about the worlds, and that might take us a few clips to do that. Okay, so this is Bharat from Palmistry Unplugged. And of course, if you want a reading from me, or you have some questions for me on the general science of palmistry, I'm available for that. So I will see you next time. Okay, take care. See you later. Bye.
Got the whole world in your